is. Watching natural bodybuilding is like watching fucking paint dry. Nobody cares.
That should be the opening to this episode.
Sorry, but there's a reason natural bodybuilding shows are held at schools. You ever been to one? You're like in a middle school. You like you paid $40 to be at this natural show, and it's in a middle school, and you're like, I have to pee, and you go to the bathroom, and all of the toilets are like 4 inches off the ground, and you're like, I'm at a kid's school. Like, this is weird.
You just dissed thousands and thousands of natty bodybuilders.
I'm sorry. It's just I've been to so many of these things. I coach a ton of natties, but like I can't get excited about it. Show me the freaks.
That was a great intro. I like it. I like an organic intro.
Oh my God.
So what are we talking about today, guys?
All right. I apologize, natty bodybuilders. It's not like watching paint dry. It's just, you know, we have to talk. It actually is just different. You go to the Olympia, you go to the New York Pro like this weekend, and the size, it's the extreme. Like, it's an extreme sport. And I respect, you know, natty conditioning is like insane. Like, right. they crush that, and they are like the best sufferers ever. But like, I want to watch the freaks. It is what it is. You know, I think the freaky, crazy Nick Walker, that doesn't walk around. You know, nobody walks around like that. It's
insane.
It's a different level. So sorry, my natty brethren.
Well, the question is bodybuilding supposed to be an extreme sport, or is it supposed to be, I guess, a promotional for, you know, healthy lifestyle?
I think that anybody that thinks bodybuilding is the pursuit of health and wellness you're going to have to bleep this out. Fucking retarded.
Both words got to be bleeped out.
Yeah, no, it's not health and wellness. It's an extreme sport where I had this conversation with somebody today where like, it's not, nobody looks, and Nick Walker himself doesn't think like, I'm the pursuit of health and wellness. I'm peak well right now. Like, you don't feel good. You're not happy, but you're doing it because you want to be the fucking best.
Yeah, well, we've seen a lot of people claim that bodybuilding does, well,
supposed to
professional bodybuilding does help influence healthy habits.
Yeah, maybe it'll make somebody that doesn't go to the gym right now think about going to the gym, or somebody that's in the gym work a little harder, and they'll be inspired. Like, yeah, the currency of how much they're inspired by it, that's value.
Yeah.
But the actual guys that are on stage competing at the Olympia, competing at the Arnold, competing in the pro shows, winning the pro shows, like the things that you're doing to get there are extreme. It's an extreme sport.
I agree.
And as it should be. Like, it's awesome. Like, it's really cool.
It's awesome. Absolutely.
But we would be stupid to be like, yeah, like they're pursuing health. Like, the guys that race those boats that go like 200 miles an hour, like, they know that there is a chance 100%. At glory and a chance at death. And you're taking both of those because it's your passion and what you love. And it's really cool to watch. And you have fans because of it. And you have sponsors because of it. Because people pay attention because it's fun to watch. But at the end of the day, like, there's an evil side to it and a beautiful side to it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that about a lot of sports where there's an extreme.
Every sport.
Well, nobody wants to watch. You know, what sport exists where people are like, you know, let me just tune into amateur basketball, just see what they're doing. Let's watch. You know, you guys after this, do you want to go down? There's a court right down the street. There's just some random people playing. Like, do you want to go watch it? Like, we could. It's $50. Sit down. Are you in?
No.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
So what do you guys think about the mutant performance?
It was a big weekend. I mean, obviously we had our team on hand. We've been documenting Nick for a while now, so we know we've seen his journey.
You said that like like you're the National Geographic. Like, we've been following Nick around. There he is in his elements. Yeah, he just feasted on some carbohydrates. This is very rare.
You know, it's. I say that because he's been someone that, you know, has been proving. He has a lot of haters, and he's proven his haters wrong, I think, this past weekend.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. He crushed.
What did you think about his performance in Pittsburgh? Because there was like a bit of controversy there, right? It was a 15-15 even score, but they gave it to Derek.
Pittsburgh was super cool. So Pittsburgh was cool for one reason. Now, I don't know if you guys really follow bodybuilding, you know this. If you don't, you don't. So I'm going to explain it. Tyler Mannion, who's the head judge and the president at Pittsburgh, president of the NPC, he has been doing for the last maybe 2 years videos where he gets on and does a judging breakdown.
Yeah.
Today, this will be a criteria video for open men's bodybuilding in 212. We're going to dive into what we're looking for in these classes. We're going to go pose by pose. And then I'm going to give you a breakdown on how an open bodybuilding show was judged between two competitors so you guys can get a good idea of what we're looking at.
This is unprecedented. This has never happened. A head judge has never gone from judging the big show to doing a 10-minute YouTube video breakdown saying this is what, this is what, this is what. I think the first one he ever did that I really paid attention to was he talked about side triceps posing, and he used like Hunter Labrada as an example, saying like, hey, do it a little bit different this way. If you would have done it like this, I think it would have been more favorable to the judging panel. Anyway, the point here is he's giving insight to competitors and that competed in the show, saying this is my feedback. Now, a couple main points here. One, on Tyler Mannion, the head judge and the president of the NPC, on his card, he had Nick winning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Nick didn't win.
Wow.
That should scream to everybody that this cannot possibly be rigged. It can't be rigged. It is total fair and square. If the head judge and the president picked one competitor and that competitor didn't win despite him being picked and just the other scorecards outweighed him, it's a fair game, right?
Yeah.
Like it would be way weirder if it was, some switched around. And,
I guess the question becomes, when you see an even scorecard, which it was, at what point does someone, how do they make a decision?
Yeah, what was the explanation for that?
Based on who should win, how they won, how did Derek win, considering they were even on the scorecard?
I think old rules were in even sense. If it's a split scorecard, I think don't quote me on this, but I think the old rules were whoever won at night was the winner. But I think now they do a tiebreaker pose down.
Right. So that's what I figured too, because I know they
brought him
called
out again.
They called them out and brought him out again. And then we covered that in Generation 9. And it was the fact that they came out again.
Look at the card. Was Nick winning in the prejudging and Derek won at the
correct
evening?
That's
Okay. So they did a tie. Maybe the new rules are tiebreaker pose down, and that's what it was. But either way, I don't think I don't think they changed something at the last minute, because if something was changed, the guy that could change it was the guy that had picked Nick, and Nick didn't end up winning.
That's a good point.
So there was a lot of people crying foul about it, but like, think about this. Like, look at the cards. You got Tyler saying, I picked Nick, and Nick still didn't win. Like that, that has to say like this was a credible and legitimate score, and both guys were great. There's also, I think, the element of like, to be the man, you got to beat the, how like they always say that, like there was so many times where Rami was really close to Phil, and you could say that Rami was maybe a tiny little bit ahead of Phil, but because he wasn't dominating Phil, they just didn't give it to him.
And, that makes a lot of sense. You got to knock out the champ in order to win.
And maybe that's what it was here, where like I watched it, obviously not from there, but I watched the high quality, the Gilco videos and that type of stuff. And it's like, I thought they were a coin flip. I thought it was 50-50. I thought that they were totally right saying that Nick dominated the morning. They were totally right saying that Derek dominated in the evening, and they were 50-50 to me. I didn't care who won. I thought they both deserved it.
They were both great for sure. And now Nick came back and won New York Pro, and now he's qualified for the Olympia.
Crushed the New York Pro. He was like, not even. Yeah. It was like Nick's show.
Dominant. Very dominant.
Crushed it. I mean, so the expectations are pretty high for him now. I mean, obviously he proved his haters wrong. He's going into the Olympia, basically almost beating a former Mr. Olympia. So now there's a lot of momentum. Yeah.
It's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild Olympia this year. Yeah.
Great show.
What do you think about the Arnold, actually, given that he did compete right at the Arnold? Did Nick compete at the Arnold, or he didn't? No,
this year, no, he did not.
I'm sorry. But the reason why I bring up the Arnold, they increased their prize money.
750 G's.
I saw that. More. I love that.
That's a big increase. That's a big increase.
That's a ton of money, and that's a lot of reasons. That's 750,000 reasons to just show up and do it, which is odd because, why are they doing that? Is it to be ahead of it? No, it's not. It's because they want to reward the best athletes in the world. We just talked about the cost of your life, the tax of how, how mentally and health taxing it is to be there. Like, Arnold recognizes that. He did it. He's been there, and he wants to pay you for it. Yeah. He wants to make sure that you're compensated for it because it is your life, and it is a reward for doing the extreme. Like, these guys are the
best I'm
in the
expecting
world.
an announcement from Olympia coming soon.
At some $2 million. No, bro. You can't keep doing this.
I think they will.
I think it's great. It's a trade war where who wins? The bodybuilding community and the bodybuilders.
Exactly.
Like, great. Everybody's actually winning. I don't know.
I do think that they need to do, I think the Olympia and the Arnold, I think they need to do a better job. I think they're doing a good job in bringing up the prize money, but they need to be a little bit more like UFC and WWE in a sense that they have to like create more controversy or some more rivalries to get fans more engaged. I understand bodybuilding is not like that, but you could say the same thing that WWE is not either.
Well, I think that's the problem and like the big schism here is in the WWE, they are hiring actors that all have like a weird charisma about them. Like they're all very outgoing, energetic, active, like crazy people.
Right.
And in the bodybuilding world, it's literally just whoever has the best physique is. And oftentimes those guys wake up, go to the gym, go to the grocery store, go home and talk to 3 people.
Right.
You know,
I understand.
One being themselves in the mirror. And they're not like these social people.
That's why Nick Walker is basically a gem because he can do both.
He can get on a podcast
great.
and be hilarious. And it's like he's super social media friendly. And
that's
like,
why he's great for the sport.
That's why, he does remind me of someone that can have like that it factor.
But the average, think of like the average Olympian, you know, the Mr. Olympian that we've had. It's like they're not these guys that are like, they grew up and most of what they have is because of social media. It's like, no, most of what they have is because they're fucking awesome bodybuilders.
Yeah.
And so for them to generate something like, you know, they really forced and shoehorned that like Phil versus Kai thing. You know, they just had to make it happen.
I mean, it worked.
It totally worked.
Oh yeah, that was the
I
best
mean,
time
it worked.
in
I mean,
bodybuilding.
you know, people could say all they want, but Robin Chan did a good job with that.
Yeah.
And we were witnesses of that.
Yeah.
I know the guys now at the Olympia, Dan and Jake, they're amazing and they're doing a lot there too. But I think the athletes need to do a little bit more of their part to create that.
The athletes do, yeah.
It's going to be like, Samson versus Hottie versus Derek Lunsford versus Nick Walker.
Right.
It's going to be like that 4-man, like, all of you could probably win this. And it's not this guy or this guy. It's these 4 dudes.
And 3 of them already won the Olympia. That's the crazy part.
3 of them have
champions.
already won the Olympia. Derek's or Nick's the only one that hasn't.
Yeah, Nick has a lot to prove.
And they all could win it. It's possible that all of them could win it, which is crazy.
Speaking of winning, what did you think of Larry Wheels winning his pro card?
What show did he win it in?
Ireland. It was Ireland.
It was a muscle contest. Ireland. Shout out to Tamer, and it was one of his shows.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Somebody told me that he won a pro, and I was like, I didn't even know.
He was chasing that pro card, I think, for a few years.
Yeah. I saw him in Miami 19 or 20 Miami Nationals. Is it still in Miami? It's sometimes in Miami.
I'm not sure. No, I think it's in LA now.
Wherever. It was in Miami in 2018 or 2019, and I saw him compete. It was the same year Phil Viz competed in heavies, but he was in Classic.
Right.
And didn't do too well.
Well, no, he proved.
Way to go, Larry.
He called out Sam Sulek.
He proved his
already,
haters wrong too, and he got his pro card. And then the funny thing is, like, when a lot of these like influencer type, I wouldn't say Larry's an influencer type. Larry's like an anomaly in many ways.
I don't know if he like proved his haters wrong. It's like, Larry, you're just still wealthy, extremely strong, very successful guy.
Right.
This is some dudes talking shit on the internet.
Yeah. I mean, Larry, he really proved me wrong personally when I saw him in Strength Wars, the movie that we did.
Yeah.
On the Strength Wars series.
Yeah.
It pits like bodybuilders
He was very strong.
with power lifters and strongman athletes, and it was a pretty epic battle. I mean,
wait, you didn't think he would do good?
I didn't think he would come. He almost lost.
He was matched up against some very strong people.
Yeah, for people that haven't seen Strength Wars, I recommend check it out.
Check it out, yeah.
I think it's on Prime now, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but you should check it out. It's a great battle with Vanilla. They call him the Vanilla Gorilla. You had all these other guys on there.
They're massive.
Professional power lifters.
Kong was there?
No, he wasn't.
But we had NDO Champ on there too. Yeah. That guy. And then we have a few others, but they were strong. But Larry almost ended up in the hospital.
He ended up getting hurt, yeah. People should watch this film.
Well, I'm going to watch it when I get home, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I've also seen him overhead press like 400 pounds, so I would have assumed that he would
called
be
out Sam Sulek, right? Already. What do you say about Sam Sulek?
So he called out Sam Sulek.
He's like, let me know when your next pro show is. I mean, like,
exactly.
The promoters that inherit that beef are going to be so happy because they're going to be like, all right, we usually sell 400 tickets. We have 4,500 tickets. This can't be. Deborah, is this correct? Did we sell this many tickets? What happened? Sam Sulek and Larry Wheels are battling it out on social media.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. We were just talking about bodybuilding rivalries.
Good for them.
I think
wait, show promoters, if you're watching this, you should pitch those guys.
Yeah.
Get him, do something nice for them. I don't know.
That would be interesting. I think if I was a promoter, I'd be highly recruiting these two guys to compete at my show.
Oh, yeah.
That's wrong, though. That's wrong, isn't it?
Why?
Because like you're like, oh, come compete at my show. It's like that.
They all do it anyway, probably.
Oh, they totally do it, but I still think it's wrong. It's like, there shouldn't be any deference or like favor, or just show up and compete.
Just like the one we discussed, like what is the Kai versus Phil, where Goob was like, no, you just got to show up to the platform.
Yeah. Whose physique is better in your opinion, Larry Wheels or Sam Sulek?
I think Sam by a lot. Yeah. Larry's like he's built strong guy. He's not like small joint bodybuilder guy. Like he's got a good physique, but it's not like he has big joints and he's extremely strong and he's got like that large, wide build of a powerlifter.
But Sam is more.
Yeah, Sam's aesthetic. I mean, Sam's strong too, but it's like Larry's he's like a freak tendons.
Did Larry compete in a natural bodybuilding show? No,
I don't think so.
I would say Larry would probably not do that.
He'd probably fail the test.
I don't think he'd want to. Yeah, he'd piss through the cup or something. I don't know. Yeah, all these guys would. Like, Jesus, no, you shouldn't be doing that.
Well, speaking of natural bodybuilding, there's this coach that just recently made the news for, I think, manslaughter. No, actually, homicide. Right?
Involuntary homicide.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that story?
I have the article on my phone because you don't want to talk about these things and have inaccurate information.
Alleged.
Not alleged, convicted. Yeah, Daylen Dunson. So he's DX Breed on Instagram. A warrant was issued out for his arrest like a week ago. Now, this is something that happened back in 2022. He was convicted for his role in the death of a 20-year-old kid named Stone Foltz. This was at Bowling Green State University. So from what I could find, looking at the case, this guy, Daylen Dunson, DX Breed, was like the president of this fraternity. And they were rushing and hazing and whatever. He got caught up somehow. This kid got really drunk and they just left him for dead. The kid dies. And the president, who was like spearheading all of this and was in charge of all of this, they get him for involuntary homicide.
Wow.
And he got a suspended sentence or something on probation, blah, 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 blah. I heard the reason he got this warrant out for his arrest was he missed a court date that was somehow related to his probation. And so there's more. Now, the funny thing is, I mean, none of this is funny, but I saw this thing May 8th, 2025, warrant out for his arrest. And I go to his page and let's see the last time he posted. 14 hours ago.
Oh, God.
It is not May 8th right now.
So he's a warrant out for his arrest, but he's posting on social media.
Yeah, buddy. Like, Daylen, maybe you've already talked to your PO and dealt with this, but like, buddy, like if you haven't, you should probably do so. I'm totally covering this on my page, by the way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of, you can't just like, I worked in an emergency room as I would check people in when I was in college, and it was just so, like you would just see every weekend when it was rush week, these kids just coming in. There was a kid, same situation. They gave him like a fifth of Jack, and he wasn't doing well. Instead of calling the ambulance, they were afraid that they would all get in trouble for hazing. So they take this kid out, they sit him on a picnic table a couple blocks away from the frat, and he dies. He wasn't dead on the picnic table, but somebody found him. He comes to the ER as like a 0.54 BAC, which like 0.08, you're too fucked up to drive. 0.24, like you're incoherent. 0.5 something.
That's crazy.
Dies of alcohol poisoning. And then, they had the vigil the next day. All the frat brothers are there. Oh, we lost our brother. Like, you guys are assholes. You killed this kid.
Should hazing be banned, do you think?
Yeah. There's a reason. There's a reason you get convicted for it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's not.
But it's still happening in all major universities.
Dude, when I was in college, I just remember being like I was into bodybuilding. Like, I was actively competing. And I just remember, like, seeing these, like, frat shits go on. And I'd be like, I don't want to be like you guys at all.
Yeah,
like, no part of me.
I know there's different extremes, but I remember going through it when I was in college, and because I played baseball, and I going through the entire process of some sort of hazing, where
couldn't be me, bro. I'd be like, I'm not doing this, guys. Like, I'll just go make friends somewhere else. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. But it's funny how things go. I mean, it's like a tradition.
There was some weird. There was a president at my. There was something where like it was like 3 a.m. They left the door open on accident, and the music's blaring, and it's rush week, so the police are like extra active, and they pop in, and there's like something dealing with bathtubs, hot dogs, and alcohol in a male fraternity. And it was the headline. I'll find it and send it to you guys. It was really funny. It was like really, really, really funny. And they had a picture of this dude who was the president, and he was arrested for hazing. And it was just like, I don't know, man. Me, I would just be like, guys, I'm actually leaving now. I don't want to be a part of your club anymore. If it has to do with these hot dogs in this bathtub and me, I'm just not interested. But like somehow they just get kids to be like, I don't know. I mean, like I want friends. So like, what am I going to do?
Is it designed to build some kind of a trust? Is that what it's?
No, I think it's just people that like to, whoever's in charge of that is just like, I'm a sadist. I like to torture people. Yeah.
Just want to torture.
Like, you can only join this club. You can build trust a lot of different ways. Yeah, the only way you're in this club is if it was like smacking him in the face with hot dogs. They were like on their knees in the bathtub tied up or something. It was weird.
It's just the fact that you would be there you'd be loyal to the whole group.
Yeah, loyalty. Yeah, exactly.
Let me abuse you and be loyal.
Right.
Yeah, it's like just pretty. I can't say it.
Yeah.
I can't say it.
I can't. There's a lot of stuff that I went through that I don't like. It would be crazy to go through and explain. It's just insane.
Yeah. Well, like, here's the question: would you do it to your kids?
No, absolutely not.
Are your kids loyal to you?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Like, why are your children loyal to you? Because you like treat them with respect and love and show them
in the face with the sausage.
They can trust. Yeah. If you start smacking them around with the sausages, it's like a little weird. Maybe they just fear you then, or like you have an embarrassing thing about them. I don't know. It's a question that you should ask yourself. Are you rushing right now? Has somebody asked you to get in a bathtub, tied up naked, smack you around with a hot dog? Call this hotline. Actually, just call Ed. He'll help you out.
And you'll be in the Goob Show.
So let's talk about this coach that there's a good old sexual harassment thing going on.
Oh my God. So there was this post that blew up on Reddit, Reddit Bikini Talk, which we can pull the post. Actually, I might have a screenshot of it. It's been since deleted. But they posted all of these screenshots of this coach who's a well-known coach that coaches Olympians and all that.
What's his name?
I can't tell you because I think that would bring bad press to somebody that didn't do anything at all.
Okay.
But if you watch the video that I did on it, you can pretty easily figure out his name. He coaches at Gillian. He's like an Olympian coach. Like he coaches Olympians, a very well-known guy. And the screenshots appear like he's asking some random client, the potential client.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
For nudes. So she says, hey, I want to compete with you, blah, blah, blah. He says, oh, let me see your physique. Oh, you're 20 years old. Oh, have you ever been coached by an older man before? Like it gets really creepy really fast. Wow. He asks for pictures and then he says, make sure you take your bikini off when you send the pictures because then I can do my job. Some bullshit like that.
This is the client reaching out. Hello, my name is blank. I was wondering if you'd be open to training. He said, definitely. What are your goals? She says she also has a friend that wants to compete, and the conversation takes a weird turn. He asks how old the friend is. The coach says, have you ever worked with older men before? And then asks for progress photos right here, which she sends. But that's not good enough. The coach says, can you send them without the bikini? It may seem odd, but it helps me as a coach. This person would have you believe that the person sent the nudes, and then he asks for a front pic. So as to, I guess your titties or something.
So they send it to me. And it's like 4 a.m. when I'm sent this post. And I'm like, I start recording the video because I'm like, this is really gross. This is a well-known coach. This is really gross. I start recording the video and I do what I usually do where like I record it and then I look at it the next day. Like I'll record it late at night and then wake up in the morning and like take a look at it. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is just too perfect. Like the stuff that he's saying, the speed of the conversation. It's like 4 conversation panels to go from hello intro to I'm looking at your bobbins, and let me see you naked. It's just so fast that it just seems too perfect. No time wasted in between. Like a normal conversation would have like a bunch of other leading to that where they're like testing the waters, getting comfortable and whatever. He just like straight for the pussy. It's not normal. So I zoomed in on one of the photos and turned the brightness on my phone up. And I could just see like streaks of stuff.
So it was made up.
I didn't know. I was like, this is weird. So I take all the screenshots, put them in Photoshop, pop up my laptop, which is a big bright screen. And I just start messing with the exposure. And if you put it all the way up, like overexpose a photo, you could usually see artifacts of like, has anything been moved? Are the colors matched perfectly? For instance, like if you have a black background and it's not the exact same black, if there's a little bit of white in it,
it'll be different. Yeah.
Exactly. And to my surprise, all of the screenshots have crazy artifacts going in the back where it looks like it's been messed around and pieced together from other conversations. So I covered it and it's a bullshit conversation.
Wow.
So somebody wanted to defame him basically.
Yeah. And I had messaged the person who made the post as soon as it came out. I sent them a message. I said, hey, I'm Goob. I do these things, can you talk to you? And they deleted their profile. So they just deleted that Reddit.
So why were they trying to do that, you think?
Because it's the guy, he's a coach in Arizona And there's like not a ton of coaches down there. And they're all like, it's somebody that sees him. He's a successful guy in Arizona. They want to be the successful guy in Arizona. Wow. And can I do it by being a better coach? Absolutely not. But can I defame him?
That is so f***ed up though, because that could have hurt his whole...
That was the point.
Everything.
These are petty people. Like really petty people. They're just trying to ruin.
And how many different conversations did they recreate? Forged, I guess.
One.
Just one.
It was one, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
One too many,
with
though.
AI today, it's very easy to do all that stuff.
Yeah.
With Photoshop and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
But can
did
you...
you reach out to the coach and talk to the coach, the actual coach
No,
himself?
I was like, I'm not going to bother this guy. So like when I did the video, I didn't put his name in it, didn't tag him, made it so you really couldn't.
But can you imagine if they would have forged it to where you could not have picked that up?
Yeah.
And let's say you made the video.
Yeah.
Can you just imagine? Like that's dangerous.
Well, I don't tend to make mistakes.
Luckily you found
it. Yeah. I usually go pretty hard. I'd probably figure it out.
It's a good thing that you figured it out.
I would have in the morning, I would have, had I not found that, I would have at least probably reached out to him. And I also had concerns because I saw that the video...
You would have had to reach out to him, yeah, 100%.
Well, maybe. But I saw that the account that originally did it was deleted. And I just had some concerns because usually in that case, I want to talk to the victim or the person and I want to see unedited screen recording of the thing, which I ask for often because it's very hard to fake a screen recording. Right. I'll be like, hey, open your Instagram, click the thing, record the screen, and that type of stuff. I would have wanted to speak to that person because if you look at the screenshots, even the ones that were provided me that looked real, there's a lot of things that are marked out in them, and it's like halves, whatever, and it felt a little weird about it. It was like strange. Yeah. So, can't pull the wool over the eyes.
So you didn't reveal the coach's name, obviously.
No, but you could figure it out if you saw his profile picture and you happen to already know who he was.
Right.
You would know, but otherwise it's like I didn't want to tag. If people were tagging him in the post and I was like, you guys are idiots. Just leave this poor guy alone. He's like busy working. He doesn't even post himself. He just posts his clients that crush. Like he's great. He coaches figure and a bunch of women and stuff. Like he's a killer.
Yeah, that sucks.
Well, shout out to him, whoever that is. But some messed up people out there, man. So Eddie Hall video leaked. Not leaked, but it was released, I guess, on Twitter, right? Or
Did you see that?
Yeah, sort of. So he's screaming at somebody in the street at some car, right? Like screaming his lungs out.
Yeah.
But then he made a video saying that people was actually stalking him.
So
right?
the original video was just Eddie Hall chasing a car, smacking the back of it, and he says, and I quote, "I'll twist your head off." Which is so funny.
Which you don't want to be. You don't want to be in that situation.
I would never want to hear that from Eddie Hall.
Eddie Hall.
World's strongest man Eddie Hall was captured in a video punching cars and threatening somebody.
Get out there! I'll you rip you down! I'll twist you head off!
And he's like beating their car, and then he runs over to the other. There's two cars, and he runs over to the other car and goes to like grab their phone and like punches or whatever. And the guy's like, "My kids are in the car," while he's driving away. He's like, "Oh my god, my kids are here!" And they post this video and tag Eddie and say, "Oh my god, Eddie attacked me today." What they leave out from that scenario was that this was done in front of Eddie's driveway, that they had parked in his driveway and were stalking him for like an hour. They had knocked on his whatever on his doorbell. His wife had come out. His wife had already told them like, "Hey, please leave us alone. This is our personal home. Eddie's not coming out. He's hanging out with his children right now. Can you please leave?" And they refused to.
Essentially what happened is this: 3 blacked out cars parked in front of Eddie Hall's personal residence for more than 30 minutes. When they posted the video, they admitted that they were going to his house in hopes of finding him and seeing him. They were parked there for several minutes when Eddie's wife went out with their dog to ask them nicely to leave. They told her to f*** off and remained in his driveway. Eventually, Eddie went out to talk to them, and that's where the camera starts. He asks them again to leave, says, "You've been asked nicely, you've been asked not so nicely, can you please get off my property?" And the guy said that he was going to knock him out, and that's when Eddie raged.
So these were like,
Are they fans or something?
yeah. So, and they posted online later that their whole plan was they went to a pub local. It was their kid's birthday. And their whole plan was that they were going to show up at Eddie's house and then have him take a picture with their kid, which is not how the fucking world works.
No.
It's to go. We're just going to go to Eddie Hall's house and he'll just come out and be happy to take a photo with our kid. And they show up like 3D
twisted, man.
in these cars, like they're like in these blacked out cars, like 3D parking in front of his driveway, refusing to leave.
What's even worse, okay, they did this stupid thing, right? But then they try to expose Eddie for like chasing him off his property.
Yeah. Like they just at no point did they realize like this isn't normal. This is not a normal thing for us to do, and we are in the wrong. They were like, Eddie didn't take a picture with our little Bobby. Like, he must be a devil, actually. Let's expose him. Like, damn. It would have been a better video, though, if Eddie got a hold of one of them and actually twisted the head off.
That would have been a
It would have called the cops on him,
It would have been everywhere.
When people tried to take him out for that, and then he posted on YouTube, he had the whole, if you want to watch it, it's whole security footage. He has the whole like 45-minute or hour or whatever it is interaction, like piece by piece. And he shows where his wife, they have a guard dog, and his wife goes out with the guard dog and speaks to them and says like, hey, can you just leave? Like, this is our home.
Right.
We've already asked you nicely once. Can you just please leave? I think she ends up going out a second time and telling them to leave. And then the third time is Eddie Hall, like a wrecking ball out there to, tear some ass up.
Wow.
Yeah.
You don't want to get that man upset.
No. Did you see the video of him fighting the two guys at once?
Oh,
yeah, that was an older video, right?
Yeah. It's like in some Russian Federation where it's like
that was him,
2-on-1. Yeah,
he
just like destroys these two men. Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was a sick video of a guy fighting two women in a ring.
I saw that. Yeah,
bizarre.
Whatever that federation is, I love it.
Would you ever fight two women in a ring?
Personally, no. Personally, no. I think there's
two women that you've caught photoshopping their photos.
No, actually, no. I wouldn't want to fight two women for any reason. Actually, even two women that liked me, I don't think I'd want to fight them. But I do love watching that. Have you seen? They'll have like 4-on-4.
It's always like in Russia.
It's like weird ass.
Totally. It says like it'll be like LasVegas.ru is like the all over the ring. I'm like, oh, this is Las Vegas. Oh, this is definitely Russian. Like, this has to be Russian.
There was one like a container is hanging over a lake. Like a big metal container, and two guys are fighting on a container, and when he gets knocked out, he drops in the lake.
Is this a thing?
Yeah, I saw it.
Dude, Vlad's search history is
I remember watching these two women. Yeah, I remember watching these two women fight this guy, and like they look like models.
And he's like a big fat guy, right?
Yeah. They look like supermodels. And then like I guess one girl gets like smacked in the face.
Yeah.
And she's like surprised that this guy actually swung at her. and then she gets mad.
And then it's down to 1v1 because one of the women gets knocked out, and she's like, "Oh no, I made a mistake. Oh no." Like, what do you think was gonna happen?
It's crazy.
Terrible.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we need to sponsor that quickly, guys. We really need to sponsor that type of violence. Insane. Anyway, Eddie, we forgive you. You did the right thing.
Yeah.
And actually, we're upset because I wish you would have caught the car and twisted the heads off. That would have been funny. They deserved it. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in today for another episode of the Goob Show. We'll have another coming at you in just a few days. Peace.